Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, August 13th, 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2023. You're looking at the Strombolian activity on Mount Etna. A new resurgence in lava fountaining has occurred, and there is a live stream that we'll bring to you with more details in just a moment. Keep calm. It's boom time. Severe weather threat upgraded for large hail across Maine. Hail up to 2 inches or greater fell today across Maine. And hail also hits Dassel, Buffalo Lake areas in Minnesota. Say it ain't soda. Friday storm means thousands of roof damages in the Twin Cities. And this is because of, well, you guessed it, hail. There's a guy here looking for hail damage to the shingles, and that's because the damage Friday storm in the Twin Cities was definitely visible on some cars that were hit by hail. Hail also caused thousands of dollars of damage on roofs in the area, and here's some of that footage of the severe hailstorm in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Club in Buffalo Lake. The video was shared by Laura Durbin on Twitter, writing, "Everyone's car is toast." And if your car or home did get damaged in last night's storms, you are not alone.
Everyone's car is toast. Speaking of toast, our hearts and our prayers are still going out to Maui as the death toll rises to 93 this evening. By Monday morning, that should be probably over 100. Massive crews went out today. And let's take a look at some of the updates from today.
Disbelief is turning to anger for those on the island of Maui who survived last week's fast-moving inferno. The number confirmed dead now at 93, making it the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than a century. Hundreds more are still unaccounted for. ABC's Melissa Dunn is there with the latest.
Cadaver-sniffing dogs searching the rubble in the historic town of Lahaina today as crews look for victims or any survivors of the fierce wildfires that struck on Tuesday. FEMA workers also on the ground with Hawaii Governor Josh Green on Saturday, getting a close look at what is left. Not much.
Patience, prayers, and perseverance. That's what we need. We need that from everyone.
Residents capturing this video as they evacuated, the flames glowing, wind blowing. Annalise Cochran ran to the ocean to survive, spending more than 7 hours in the water.
And while the fire was happening and the cars were exploding, we would duck into the water and we would put our mouths as close to the surface as we could so that we could breathe. They will not let us get through.
On Saturday, officials opened one route into West Maui for residents who must show proof of residence, but we saw many people turned away.
We've been waiting here since 11 a.m. On Wednesday morning. Yeah, I don't think they're handling this well at all.
The state attorney general has announced a comprehensive review of Maui's evacuation policies, including systems for notifying residents to get out during emergencies. Notifications many here say they never received.
There were multiple fires at the same time, and the circumstance was greatly complicated also by the heat and the speed with which the fire spread, destroying a great deal of infrastructure.
Oh my, it sounds like they're making a lot of excuses in Lahaina this evening. Let's take a quick look at some of the lakes that were supposed to dry up according to climate alarmists. Here we're looking at Lake Powell water data, and you can see that in April, Lake Powell was at 3,519 feet, and it peaked in mid-July at 3,585, raising 60 feet this summer alone. And Lake Mead is not done rising. It's rising even more rapidly. And the forecast is showing huge amounts of rain, monsoonal rain, coming out to that region, which will fill Lake Mead ever faster. It's already exceeded the 2022 levels, has rapidly risen another 13 feet, and is about to, by the end of August, it looks like past the 2021 levels. You're looking at the last 5-year water levels as Lake Mead rapidly rises into history. More record heat today, severe thunderstorms, and excessive rainfall threats. Relentless heat wave lingers for the south and the southeast and now expands into the northwest today and most of the upcoming week. Meanwhile, severe thunderstorms and excessive rainfall with flash flooding potential from the center of the nation to the mid-Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee valleys through the end of today. The threat shifts to the Great Lakes and eastern Ohio Valley, mid-Atlantic on Monday. So heads up as the rain is coming to get you. And the precipitation is much needed in our region, as well as the entire country, because it's growing season. And you can see that monsoon kicking in, maybe a tropical system moving along the coast here over the next week, but much needed rain coming to the Four Corners region and Lake Mead and Lake Powell. Seismic update. We've got enhanced activity in Iceland, 4.5 kicking off. We'll check into that a little deeper in just a moment. We also have an interesting rumbler east of Ridgely, Tennessee. There are deep underground military bases here, so maybe they could be expanding. It's anyone's guess. And some increased activity in Hawaii with the 4.3 kicking off just 6 kilometers northwest of Kilauea. And back to the live eruption at Mount Etna. It is a slightly delayed stream, so it's not that fantastic, but the Strombolian activity is quite obvious. And this is a live stream. Let's move it up all the way till live now and see what Etna's doing. Oh, there's like some smoke plume coming out here and some more explosive activity happening down on the flank. So we'll link you below to the live stream over at Etna as things appear, well, to be heating up, don't they? Worldwide volcano news update. Not much to report on except the increased activity at Stromboli and Etna, both Strombolian activities at both volcanoes. We also have Semeru, Reventador, Sangay, Ubines, Sabancaya, and Mayon. Sangay to 20,000, Reventador to 15,000, Semeru to 15,000, Sabancaya to 24,000, Ubines 24,000, Abico to 12,000, and increased activity at Stromboli as well as Etna. An eruption that began, well, just about 24 hours ago is continuing now at Etna. Space weather news update. The sun is dropping off a cliff at Solar Max. Let's take a look at the latest HMI intensity. There are some sunspots here peppering the disk, small ones, albeit at Solar Max. The biggest spot about to turn away as nothing really significant appears to be coming around the limb. Just one small pinprick here and this small sunspot group. So Solar Max, once again, is underperforming as predicted. Now, back to the tragedy on Maui. There are photos now being used to claim that directed energy weapons were to blame for the fire. The only problem is that all of these photos are doctored. And the main one that's being used here shows a streak of light and a fire on the ground has been circulating on social media since 2018. And then there's a few new ones that came out today showing a church in Helena that has also been doctored. So please stop sharing the nonsense. There was no directed energy weapons. There was a hurricane offshore. There were record winds in this town and a fire was sparked. That's what happened with the disaster. Not to mention that it's an old town built of banyan wood. It's built of wood. Not a lot of stone structures there. The stone structures are far and few between and they're still standing. The rest of the structures were made of wood and burned to the ground rapidly. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned and we need your help to grow. Become a Patreon, support the work we do. Watch all of our podcasts commercial free in one place. Be safe. We love you. And that is a boom to knowledge.